Hello and welcome. As you can see, I'm doing another experiment. I am showing you my workplace covered with Christmas. I have been finding things in my stash, and I have been getting some new things, and now I have this chaos that I thought I would share with you. I'm really wanting to talk to you today about how I'm going to divide this up. I was thinking that I would take some of the things and you work on them for this Christmas, and then tuck some away for save them for next Christmas. But this is a chaotic situation for this little girl, so I'm going to share the cleanup and the planning with you in kind of a vlog fashion on this visit together. I'm going to turn this off now and reconnect the camera, and so that you will have some idea at least of what I'm up against at this moment. Well, I just listened to myself, and I know that I sounded like a deer in the headlights. That's what happens when you take me out of my comfort zone with these camera and computer contraptions. But I've decided to leave it because my general goal was for you to see all of this and see me try to work my way through this process of planning for my 2018 Christmas journal. Therefore, I think I'll do it part by part. This folder, and there is reason for this. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And this bag I found in the second drawer that I didn't know that I still had some Christmas goodies hiding in. So I'll be back to those. That leaves me with all of these lovely items, but I think I will start by sharing this. I just purchased this, as I call it, Carol's Starter Kit, or Carol's Cheat. Well, not so much, because I purchased this from Sunflower Cree by Emily recently, because I saw some of her work on Gail Agostinelli's channel, and she spoke about how well Emily constructs the bones of her journals. And the 12 Days of Christmas, A Christmas Carol, that sold me. So I purchased this from Emily, and then I went through and I removed some of these bits that she had included to be used or embellished by me and put back or not. And as you can see, it is quite a lovely journal. I am so happy that I have it as my learning piece, my starter kit, so to speak. There are two very full signatures in here. What a delightful center for that first signature. There's even some, oh yes, that is a page. And in the second signature, we have more lovely bits and things, pockets that are sewn, and lace that has been added. So it's kind of a little bit of a roadmap for me, and I'm going to take great advantage of it and just play my heart out between now and Christmas. So this is the plan. So I'm going to put this pile, because that's the contents that I'm going to be working with, or adding to, or changing a little bit to make this Carol's journal. Oh, and she had these two lovely tags. So that I'm going to set over here. She also had this lovely prettiness on the attached to the outside cover on the binding. So, all right, that's set aside. Now, this brings me to my current stash of Christmas goodies. This pack of papers was on sale for some, I think, a ridiculous price, maybe $5 or $6, and I liked some of the papers in here, and I thought they would be quite pretty added to my 12 Days of Christmas journal. So, and of course, I primarily purchased them because that price was just right. So this is going to be for this year's embellishment of my new Emily journal. Here, oh, and I don't know why this is on my table, but I've had this for quite a while. I was going to do another piece of Christmas needlepoint, so I'm just going to set that aside because I will hopefully get back to doing that if the days are stretched out to maybe 36 hours instead of 24. Then what happened? Oh yes, so I received a happy mail. Whoops, two little red Christmas trees, I don't want to lose them. I received a lovely happy mail, and I had been thinking to myself, gee, I don't have any Christmas cards, which would be so pretty, and along the happy mail came to me, and included in it was some Christmas cards, and included in it was this one, and oh, I'm going to have that one probably up towards the front because my husband is an avid builder and flyer of control-lined model airplanes, and oh, this tickled me. So these cards were a total surprise. Came in happy mail, and I'm just loving them. I had also been saving some, I have also been saving some red envelopes that I found, and I'm going to be using them in this folder somewhere because I was so proud of myself for remembering to keep them. So this stays with the this year pile. I've had these. I don't know how long I've had them or where they came from, but oh yes, they go in this year's journal. I also dug deep and found things that I think I brought to use to embellish some of my needlepoint. And, well, aren't they going to be quite lovely? Adhesive paper ribbon, a Santa's outfit. This must be between 5 and 10 years that it's been a tuck. So these are going to be included here. I think this is a dollar store find. Absolutely. This is going to be a very traditional Christmas journal. And I am a great fan of Santa, so going to be a good deal of Santa here. I had some of these in my stash. I purchased, because I didn't have any, I purchased a pack of these washies, and they are so pretty and ready to be added to this new journal experience. Down at the bottom, I found some stamps, unused. Here is a Santa, and he was only $4.90, which made him very attractive. And some wood reindeer, happy holidays, just pretty little stamps, season's greetings, and so forth. They will be coming in handy. I've had these sequins and stars in red and silver. Definitely going to happen. Some silver ones. Some of these wire bits, and I just thought, now that I know how to work that Fabrifix glue, I'm not reluctant at all to, goodness gracious, they just know when I'm talking to you folks. I'll be back. The outside bug service, you know, Florida, you need to have such things. So I'm going to put these over here because I have another thought for those bits. And these, I have no idea where these came from, but they're lovely and highly usable, particularly with a 12 Days of Christmas and Santa motif. So these are going to be used now. And I believe these were in the same Happy Mail that the cards came in. And aren't these just delightful and ready to be used? So that's happening now. And I have this piece of ribbon, double-sided satin, and so pretty. That's been around for quite a while also. It's going to be in this journal. So let me tip that up a little bit. And last week, in the mail, completely unexpectedly, was a your usual Christmas charitable giving envelope. It was rather bulky and heavy. And I said, gee, I wonder what this is. Look what I found. A Merry Christmas. And this is from the Sioux Indians, the reservation. And isn't this delightful? So, yes, to that. And look at these lovely, lovely stickers. And tags. A pad with a cardinal that can be folded down. How pretty is that? Well, you can imagine that when you're thinking of trying your first journal, and I thought to myself, it's as though this organization did this to me because I guess they knew I needed it. And a letter from one of these children, a gift for you. What a pretty, pretty snowman. Put that here. And then, yes, look what was in there. Look what was in there. MCM XC 1900 and 91. This was in also. Look at these lovely cards. A cardinal, a Christmas cardinal, which I love. And then this about the Legend of the Dreamcatcher. And I'm going to find a place for this in the new journal. So, I was certainly more than happy to contribute, because I just found it to be quite deliciously shocking for this to come in the mail. A wonderful goodie. All or part of this will be going in this bit over here. And now I want to bring out these goodies. These are a little bit separate, and I thought that I would probably save these until next year, when I will be ready to be making my own journal. So I'm going to just push this aside. Now there's a reason that, oh, by the way, these are my Halloween stitchery, and I had done many Halloween pieces over the years, and so I kept everything together on that, and it was just, I wanted to show you that this was the idea. And the other day, when I plundered in and found this bag, I realized that this was my Christmas bag, because I had done much Christmas stitchery also. Some motifs that I had used over the time. So here we are with a bag just chocked full of Christmas threads, and even some collectible velvet leaves, which I have in here and treat them like gold, because you don't find that beautiful Christmas red very easily. But the reason that is here is because under everything was this bag. And I vaguely, maybe 6 or so years ago, remember tucking these fabrics away. Now, this is a velvet, a beautiful quality fabric in velvet. It's obviously a piece. I don't know whether I bought it, whether I found it at an antique mall, but it almost feels like suede, but it is fabric. It's not quite velvet, but I think that the good quality of it and the beautiful selvage on here shows that it's a very nice woven fabric. So that was in the bag. And a delish piece of nice thickish red felt, a little bit better and thicker quality than you can buy by squares, in the craft stores. And this piece of red silk satin that was on the was obviously what was left from a shortening of an evening gown, that the skirt was gathered and fell to the floor, and the top of the bodice on this gown, from the waist up to a jewel neckline and long sleeves with an opening here, the entire top was beaded. I purchased it, 10 years ago when I was selling antiques on Etsy. And I took a chance because it fit me, which meant it was about a size 8 US. And it was snapped up quite quickly. And I, for some reason, did not include this with the gown because I am 5 feet 6 inches, and I informed through the information on Etsy and the pictures of me wearing the gown, so that this was not necessary to include, and I'm so tickled right now that I didn't. I'm going to use what I can of this, and I'll probably be next year, if everything goes well, I will be sharing some of this fabric and some of this pseudo suede with you. And also in that bag, besides this, and this, was this little bit. And I have been treasuring this for quite a while. This is a piece of needlepoint canvas, as you can see. A nice, fine one. And I might be. I'm going to do a little bit of. Stitchery on here, and heavens knows, I have everything I need to do that right here in this bag. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at those red beads hiding in there. Well, well, well. Aren't they pretty? So, I'm going to take a bit of this and do a little stitchery and include it in this 12 Days of Christmas journal. And so, that brings us now, I think I'll put this over here because this will be for next Christmas. I found this, of course. Oh my. I had stashed this from an article because I thought I might make that Santa. But then mixed media became my love and still is. And I'm working quite hard at finding time to enjoy getting back to some of my stitchery. But these are 3 lovely patterns for Christmas ornaments, and I thought I might consider making 1 or 2 of these and maybe share with you how to do this, because people seem to think that this is terribly difficult, and I think I could show you quite easily that it is not. It's a matter of counting lines, and that's really all there is to it. And look what I found. I remember buying these ages ago because I couldn't resist them. Recollections. So, I'm going to keep 1 for next year, and 1 is going over here for this year. So these were in this folder. It was almost like Christmas finding this folder. I obviously had been saving some collage bits. Just pretty pieces. And I was thinking that next year's so-called theme would be a little bit different, but then I can't resist a Santa. Look at this. Oh my goodness, I remember these when I was little. These are plastic candles. Yes. So, that was in there. They will come in handy next year. Some recent cards from my husband. Some envelopes that I had been saving from Christmas. Maybe this one and this one will come out for this year. And a 2016 issue of Victoria Classics that I have been nipping at and using in my Mona Vanna journal. And because of the smallness of these, they have provided many delightful little collage images. And needless to say, I had no idea that junk journaling was going to be waiting for me. And I'm so happy that I kept this. And I had, because these, a Christmas tree like this as a background piece is just delightful. And you can fussy cut as little or as much on those as you wish. But so many possibilities. Even just this little Sandy. He's completely there and would be therefore completely easy to cut out if you were into fussy cutting something that tiny. But here again, what a lovely image. And then, of course, this one. I'm so glad that I haven't used this before. It is going to be waiting for me one more year. It can wait. So, whoops. These in here. And I kept one of these. But then I realized, oh my goodness, I remember purchasing these. These are pieces of vintage ephemera. Just tiny bits of paper. Let me see, I don't even know how to sneak my way in here. Oh, I guess this way. Okay, this kind of thing. These beautifully made bits and pieces. This one even has some sparkle on it. Let me get a little bit closer so that you can fully enjoy these little bits. Years ago, things were made so prettily. So this one, and these, and if you're a Santa lover, there is no that I could have resisted that one, and I didn't. Don't get nosy, wait till Christmas. And these had the gum on the back so that you had to wet them. And some are just bits that have been sold that way that you would have to glue down yourself. And I do believe some of you might know what I'm talking about when I say mucilage, because the backing on Santa here might very well really reminds me of mucilage. I can see that bottle, I can smell it. That was glue that children used. Mucilage. I think it was made out of pig's feet or something. I have no idea. It was one of the horrors of childhood in my generation. Now, these are collectibles that I've been holding on to for so many years, and I've always thought I would put them, excuse me, that I would, lemon water, that I would put them in my shop years ago, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I guess it's because it's scenty. So, I'm going to be using some of these next year, and I will probably be sharing a few of them too. So, here. Now, these are newer, and I'm kind of thinking that I might keep these till next year. They are dimensional and quite pretty. And there goes my cough machine again. I will be right back. All right, that's better. So I'm going to keep these. And, oh, this was one of the pages in the fall journal that I was making that I used almost an entire magazine, and as you can see, I covered some of the writing with the green, and there is something so happy making for me about this that I'm going to keep that, put it in this folder, and that's going to have front and center place in my From Scratch journal. I think that's what I'll call it. It'll be my From Scratch journal. I found these, I believe, at an antique mall. Briar Rose stickers, but old-fashioned pictures. Old-fashioned snowmen, old-fashioned children, old-fashioned Santas, and then these delights. Now, since I have repeats, I will be sharing those also. Aren't they lovely? Sometimes when you plunder around in an antique mall, you can find the most interesting things. Well, finally, I'm at the bottom of this Christmas trove. I'm thinking, as I've been sitting here, I've been mulling, part of me has been mulling. That will be for next year, this for next. This felt heavy, nice quality. Bought by the yard, actually. Wouldn't this be pretty? As a binding. Maybe a binding with scallops. Might look pretty. So, what I'm going to be doing before you see me next working here, is that I'm going to make a pattern with scallops and cut it out and glue it down so that it will be there. And I think that will be that's my first executive decision. And then I'll have to find something that I'm going to make, something pretty to cover this. Yes, I will. This is happening. Oh, I'm feeling so anxious to start now because I guess because I'm able to jump in into the pool without having to mull all of these levels. I'm just going to play, and play some more on these pages. And I do hope that you will join me while I work on embellishing this first signature. If you have enjoyed this experience with Carol thinking through how I'm going to work with all of these wonders, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with a friend, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Bye now.